Carbon credit integrity collapse exposes corporate offsets. Carbon credit integrity is collapsing, and corporate offset strategies are exposed. The voluntary carbon market has a credibility problem that is no longer contained to specialized environmental circles. It is landing in boardrooms, investor calls, and legal proceedings, and organizations that built their climate commitments around offset purchases are finding themselves in a much more exposed position than their sustainability reports suggest. For much of the past decade, carbon offsets functioned as the flexible mechanism that allowed corporate climate commitments to be more ambitious than direct emissions reductions alone could support. Buy credits, retire them, claim the reduction. The accounting was clean, the reporting straightforward, and the cost manageable relative to the operational changes that actual emissions reductions require. That model is under serious strain. A wave of independent audits, investigative journalism, and academic analysis has found that significant volumes of widely purchased carbon credits, particularly in the forestry and avoided deforestation categories, were not delivering the emissions reductions they claimed. The credits were real. The underlying reductions, in many cases, were not. What independent audits have found about widely purchased carbon credits. The most significant body of evidence came from a 2023 investigation by The Guardian, Zeit Online, and Source Material that analyzed Verra-certified REDD+ forest carbon credits, which are among the most commonly purchased offsets in corporate sustainability portfolios. The analysis found that more than 90% of Verra's rainforest offset credits likely did not represent genuine carbon reductions, based on comparison of deforestation rates in project areas against control areas with similar characteristics. Verra disputed the methodology, but subsequently revised its carbon accounting standards. The revised standards, implemented in 2024, retroactively reduced the credited value of projects already in use, meaning organizations that purchased and retired credits from those projects may have smaller actual reductions on their books than their reporting indicated. A separate peer-reviewed analysis published in Science in 2023 examined 26 REDD+ projects across 6 countries and found that average emissions reductions were 79% lower than certified amounts. Berkeley Carbon Trading Project research from 2024 reached similar conclusions across a broader sample of avoided deforestation credits. How the integrity problem translates into corporate disclosure risk. The credibility gap in carbon credits is not just a reputational issue. It is a disclosure issue for organizations that have made specific claims about emissions reductions in sustainability reports, investor communications, or regulatory filings. The Federal Trade Commission, FTC, updated its green guides in 2024 to address carbon offset claims more specifically, including guidance that offset claims should be based on reductions that are additional, verifiable, and permanent. Offsets that fail those criteria, even if they were certified by a recognized standard body at the time of purchase, are potentially problematic under the updated guidance if used in consumer-facing or investor-facing claims. The SEC's 2024 climate disclosure rules were originally designed to mandate accurate reporting of greenhouse gas emissions and methodologies, but they were voluntarily stayed in April 2024 following legal challenges. On May 4, 2026, the agency took the formal step of submitting a proposal to rescind these requirements to the White House. Despite this federal reversal, companies are increasingly facing active mandates from other jurisdictions, such as California's SB 253, which requires the first reports on Scope 1 and 2 emissions by August 10, 2026. For organizations using purchased offsets to meet net emissions targets, the integrity of these credits has become a central part of reporting accuracy under state laws like California's AB 1305. To meet these transparency standards, external auditors are now moving beyond simple registry retirement certificates to request rigorous documentation of additionality and permanence. Which credit categories carry the most integrity risk right now? Not all offset types carry the same level of current integrity concern. Avoided deforestation and improved forest management credits carry the highest documented risk based on available independent analysis. Renewable energy certificates, RECs, In markets without strong additionality requirements, carry structural risk because they often represent generation that would have occurred regardless of the purchase. Credits with stronger integrity profiles in current independent assessment include direct air capture with permanent geological storage, high quality cookstove programs with rigorous measurement and verification, and industrial methane destruction projects with continuous emissions monitoring. These categories are more expensive and less liquid, which is part of why they represent a smaller share of most corporate offset portfolios. What sustainability leaders need to do about their existing offset portfolios. The organizations managing this risk most effectively are doing an honest audit of their existing offset holdings before they are asked to do it by an external party. That means reviewing the project types, vintages, and certification standards of credits already retired against current integrity standards, not the standards in place when the credits were purchased. Where the audit reveals integrity gaps, the responsible path is proactive disclosure and a revised strategy, not silence. The organizations that are going to face the sharpest reputational and legal exposure are the ones making current carbon neutrality claims on the basis of offset portfolios whose underlying quality has been publicly questioned and who have not addressed that gap in their reporting. The voluntary carbon market is not going away, but the bar for what counts as a credible offset has risen sharply in the past 2 years. Corporate sustainability strategies that haven't adjusted to that new bar are carrying exposure that their current disclosures don't reflect. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites by Environment and Energy Leader. For partnership opportunities, please reach out to our team.